What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on all so you get notified of all latest content as and when it drops. So let's get into it. This weekend gone, we had a fight that we never knew we needed. This was an interesting one because with these guys, there were two guys I never really put together because Eubank's ambition more of 160, super middleweight, that sort of thing. But Beefy Smith, part of the conditions of him coming to Sky was that he wanted the Eubank fight. He said, look, Ben Shalom, who's the promoter of Sky, the lead promoter over there now, he said to him, look, if you get me the Eubank fight, that's when I'll sign with you. And Shalom delivered. So we had this fight, Eubank Jr. versus Smith, and I'll admit this was quite a shock to me, quite a surprise to me. Not the fact that Smith won, but the manner in which he won. That was the surprise to me. I think I did not see early KO by Liam Smith coming. I certainly didn't think Chris Eubank Jr. would get him out of there at all. But I was prepared to say, okay, Liam Smith could win it on points. I knew that's definitely a possibility. My pick was more Eubank Jr. to win on points. I fancied him to be the bigger man, the stronger man, and I knew that he's a very durable guy. We've never really seen prior to this fight any real chinks in his armor in terms of his toughness, his chin, his durability. Eubank Jr., one thing he does have, even if may not be as talented as the very top guys, one thing he does have that you need in boxing is that toughness and that durability. That's what it was going into the fight. We never really seen him hurt, wobbled, knocked down. We'd seen him lose, but it was always him being outboxed. When he lost, it was always a case of he's being outboxed by a better boxer with better skills. We never seen him sort of outgunned or knocked out or even really hurt leading up until this fight, and that's why it was such a shock. But anyway, as this fight began, Eubank Jr. was sort of boxing behind the jab quite well. For me, he was ahead on the scorecards going into the fourth round. I think the first round was quite cagey. I think that's kind of a swing round, really. It was cagey. Eubank was doing quite well with the boxing and stuff. He looked a bit jittery. It's interesting watching it with my mum. Was one of the people I watched it with, and she kind of noticed that. She was saying Eubank looks shaky, he looks jittery, like what is he doing? I couldn't see it at the time, but she felt he looked shaky, and you could see it to a certain extent where he really was not trying to be hit in this fight. It was always pulling out a bit with his head quite high and his chin quite high, but he sort of began to find his stride in the third round, where he was, and throughout this fight, the short time it lasted, Eubank was mainly sort of on the back foot. Beefy Smith was sort of chasing him, trying to hunt him down, as Junior was mainly sort of on the back foot. We weren't getting much landed from Beefy Smith. He wasn't really able to land that much on Eubank, but he was able to do one of his other strengths, which is to just put that pressure on you with his feet and to sort of make you work. And although Eubank was sort of comfortable at the pace, you could see he was very wary of what was coming back. He was sometimes pulling out a bit with his chin quite high. But in the third round, he looked good, did Eubank Jr. He landed a good 4 or 5 of his signature uppercuts as Smith came in, just sunk him in, nice shots. And it was one of them where some said, with people I was watching it with, that, why didn't he just step on the gas? Why didn't he just step it up from there? Once he's landed those uppercuts, Smith's taken him, why didn't he sort of jump on him? But I personally thought that, look, Smith still looks to have his wits about him. He doesn't look seriously hurt, so If that's the case, then perhaps you just continue a bit. You don't need to jump all over him and sort of empty your tank. Do a sort of Anthony Yard thing there where you just empty it on him. But looking back on the fight, maybe that was something he could have done. But anyway, he looked to be on the ascendancy. He looked to be winning the fight as we left the third round going into the fourth round. Fourth round, it was a lot of the same. Eubank quite relaxed. He uses this sort of low slung left hand, and he's landing his jabs as normal. But this time, it was like Smith sort of stepped on the gas, and he really sort of stepped up the pace. And Eubank Jr. throughout this fight, one of the things that led to his downfall was the fact that he was voluntarily sort of willing to go back towards the ropes. I think that's one of the things that definitely cost him in his fight, was the fact that throughout the contest he was mainly on the back foot, and he was mainly sort of going back, and he was more than willing to go back towards the ropes. And this is what happened. It happened throughout the fight, and then when the end came and the shots were landed, where was he? He was once again sort of backing up for Smith, and then trying to sort of duck away and weave away from shots. He made a few miss, but then, Smith caught him with a few good ones. One was a left hook that I think done most of the damage. There are people going around slowing it right down and saying, well, it could be, the hand looks up here and it could have been an elbow. I don't know. I suppose that's some sort of possibility. But yeah, Eubank got nailed in the corner. There was a good uppercut in there, right uppercut as well. And he just got nailed in there, and he was just trying desperately to sort of get away. You could see as soon as he got in that corner for the final exchange, when it all ended, he was desperately trying to weave and duck away, and it just weren't happening. And Smith just managed to nail him, nice left hook, uppercut, and then you could just tell when Eubank went down, it was like a blur. When it happened in real time, when I'm watching it in real time, it was just like a blur. You just saw Eubank go to the corner, panic a little bit, and I was like, why is he panicking? And then next minute, bang, Smith lands his shots, boom, 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 Eubank wobble, and then you see them all come out in a bundle of the corner. Eubank is hanging over the ropes, and he's all over the place. He gets up, and you can tell that there must be some sort of naivete with Chris Eubank Jr., because another mistake he made in there was the fact that he tried to get up straight away. And I think a lot of pro boxers, I've never been pro boxer, I've only been a novice amateur, but I think one of the things a lot of people say is that when you get hurt like that and dropped heavily like that, what you have to do is you stay down there and try and get up towards the end of the count. So if you've been knocked down, you stay there and you try and wait until the referee is at about 8, and then you get up, because then you're giving yourself time to recover. But because not that Eubank would have, he probably still, I think he still would have got knocked out in that round anyway. But to give yourself any sort of chance, you've got to wait. You've got to stay there, stay on your knee, wait till the last minute, and then you get up. But Eubank, being the warrior that he is, he always wants to fight on, and he's got this bravado and I never quit, and I never you could tell, like, even though he could hardly walk to the referee, I think the referee would have been justified in stopping it after that knockdown, because he was like this, he could hardly walk. It was a breeze away from, breeze would have knocked him over there, and then ref lets him continue, comes in again, and Smith just batters him again, just lands more shots, and the ref just waves it off, because he can hardly walk. And to Eubank's credit, even after being sparked, he's going after Smith, thinking he can still fight and all that sort of thing. So yeah, credit to Liam Smith. It was a very, very good performance. I mean, it's unfortunate that in things like this with the big names, it does get a bit overshadowed by Chris Eubank Jr. losing and the surprise of him getting KO'd early. But let's not let that overshadow Liam Smith's victory, because Liam Smith, he boxed an exceptional fight on the front foot, put the pressure on Eubank Jr. and just nailed him with a bunch of brilliant shots. And yeah, we've got to take our hat off to him, because you think about Eubank's career, no one has been able to do that to him at that stage in the fight apart from Liam Smith. So we really got to take our hats off to Liam Smith and credit him for that victory, because as much as, yeah, it's a disappointment for Eubank fans, Eubank himself, and it's quite something that no one saw it coming. You got to give credit to the man that threw the punches, that won the fight, and done something to Eubank Jr. that hasn't been done before. So credit to Liam Smith, brilliant victory and impeccable performance. Yeah, it was quite something. And let me know your thoughts on the fight in the comment section below. And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism over and out.